Hey y'all, LaFon Profice here with Profice Insurance and Financial Services. Today I want to talk about leaving an inheritance. Some of you may know, some of you may not, but I'm actually a pastor as well. And there was on Psalms 13 and 22, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Now, I've heard that many a times, and that's half the text anyway. But I've heard that many a times, and I've even heard people preach on it as well. But it wasn't until I got ready to preach on it myself and was researching and praying on that particular text that it hit me. How does a good man leave an inheritance to his children's children? Because I mean, you got to think about it. He has to leave. At least this is what I thought, and I think this was most people thought. He has to leave enough to his child that there's enough so that his child's child will get a portion of what was left to his child. So in my mind, I was thinking that's got to be a significant amount. That's got to be enough so that his child doesn't spend it all up, and there's enough left over so that his child's child will get a portion of that as well. So what is that dollar amount? What is that amount that is significant enough that you can leave to your children, and they not only get the good use of it, but it's enough that they can pass along to their child as well. And it hit me, there is no dollar amount. There's not enough money in the world for you to leave to your child that you can ensure that that money will make it to your child's child. And the reason being because we know that a fool and his money are soon departed. If you leave a significant amount of money to a fool, to a child that doesn't know any better, they will smoke it up. They will party it up. They will make bad investments up, whatever up you want to put into it. Them and that money will soon be departed. And I don't care what the dollar amount it is. I know you probably say, well, if I leave them whatever, $1 billion, $1 trillion, I'm telling you, a fool will find a way to burn through that money and will do it in record time. What took you 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50, 60, 70 years to build up, they will run through it like a locust, like a horde of locusts. They will run through that in a year or less. So what is it that we have to do to leave for what's the mechanics in us being able to leave an inheritance for our children's children? Well, when the Bible is speaking of this inheritance, yes, it is talking about physical property, assets, things of that sort, just like with what we're probably thinking of, property, assets, things of that sort. But there's also some intangible things, your work habits, the way you think about money, the way you budget, the way you handle adversity, the way that you prepare for the unknown. All those things you leave to your children. You either teach it to them, or you train them, or they see you do those things in your life, and they pick those things up. And that's really how most are learning, by how they see what you do, and that's how they pick those things up. And so we have to learn to leave wisdom to our children. If we leave wisdom to our children, they'll pick up the rest. Proverbs 21 and 20 said that the wise man saves for the future, but the fool, and I wrote the text down here, the foolish man spends whatever he gets. We don't want to have fools for children. What we want to do is Proverbs 1 and 7 says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, and fools despise wisdom and instruction. So we want wise children. We want wise children that can take a little and make more, or at least sustain what we leave them, so that they can pass that on to our children. Um, it's easy to pass along money. A will will pass along money. A trust will pass along money. You can have a bank account and just make your child the beneficiary of that bank account, and that will pass along money. So passing along money is not the problem. It's passing along wisdom. A bank account don't pass along wisdom. Life insurance doesn't pass along wisdom. A trust does not pass along wisdom. So we have to ensure that we pass along wisdom to our children. And as a Christian, the Bible teaches that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of all wisdom. So to pass along that fear of the Lord to a child is the beginning of wisdom, and the start of them being able to pass along that money to the next child. Now, wherever your beliefs are and so forth, but you have to pass along that wisdom to the child so that they know what to do with it. Because again, a fool will burn through some money quickly. Think about the athletes that have made millions of dollars, had long careers, retire, and in a few short years, they're penniless. Think about people that have won the lottery, won millions of dollars, and then shortly after that, they're back where they started from. Musicians, singers, actors, so forth, that have had that money has just went through their fingers, and because they did not have the wisdom in how to handle those finances, they and their money were soon parted. So you want to make sure we're passing along the wisdom along with the money. If you had the option, yes, you want to pass along money and wisdom. But if it was one or the other, you want to pass along wisdom. Because if you pass along wisdom, they will make the money so that they can pass along to their own child. But if all you're passing along money without the wisdom, all you're doing is going to probably leave them in a worse shape than they were before they got the money. Because money is a magnifier. It's not a, money don't change people. Money brings out what's in them. Sometimes we don't realize how foolish people are because they don't have enough money to exhibit their true foolishness. But when you give them money and now they can actually act upon the things that they've been thinking about, act upon those bad habits, they have the money now to get themselves in trouble. You actually may be doing a disservice actually giving money to a foolish child. And so we want to pass along wisdom. And as we pass along wisdom, we're being a blessing to our children and the next generation and the generation after that. Because if we can teach them to be wise, hopefully they'll teach their children to be wise, and they'll teach their children to be wise. And that's how you leave an inheritance to your child's child. Now, I specialize in life insurance. Life insurance gives you the opportunity to pass along those resources. But life insurance will not pass along wisdom. We have to pass along the wisdom to the child. And if we do that, then we're leaving that inheritance to our child's child. I'm LaFawn Profice for Profice Insurance and Financial Services. Profice means benefit. And as your agent, that's what I aim to be, a benefit to you.